Alright, finally made it out here on the family farm. Looks like nobody's here yet. I'm here kind of early, so wanted to kind of get in. We're here. The Minnesota opener is right around the corner. That's tomorrow, so definitely pumped up. And today is just kind of waiting for everybody to get in town and kind of get everything situated. So I'm definitely really pumped, excited. With that being said, let's go ahead and get ready. Back here at the house. I'm not going to be hunting here tomorrow morning. I'm going down to the valley where I normally would sit. But up here, typically the rest of the cousins and the kids would come back here and go after does and squirrels. But look at how big this rub is. Totally shredded it. Not that long ago. I just kicked up a really nice buck. That thing. Massive white tines. I think that thing must have been at least an 8-pointer, 8 or 10. Really tall tines. He was bedded right here, right off the road, in this little pocket of brushes. He took off down that way. He didn't really take off far. He got up and ran, but he stopped like a good 80 yards and just kind of stopped and slowly walked off towards the north. I just need a big one like that to come through tomorrow. That deer was definitely a shooter. That's a lone doe. There's 2 of them. I had one come across on the top. That second one was right after her. They're heading towards the same direction that buck went. Jeez, the does are really on the move tonight. There's 2 more right down by the road, crossing over to the other side. No bucks behind them though. A lot of activity, that's for sure. It's a pretty cool evening sit so far. Well, walk. But we'll slowly keep on going. See what else I can kick up. Alright, so it is opening morning. We got deer moving around here already. I'm gonna sit tight and hopefully we get a big boy to come out here and play. I'm gonna sit here this morning until maybe about 1 or 2 o'clock, and then I'm gonna get down and hunt a thermal hub down here. But I'm gonna sit tight and be quiet, and we'll see how this morning turns out. Sounds like somebody up by the house just took a shot. Either they shot one of the big bucks up there, or the kids had took out a doe. The morning has been kind of slow. There's definitely a few guns popping off this morning, but I did have a couple deers come walking through on top and below. It's the rut, so anything can happen. All that takes is just a matter of seconds. I gotta go down there. There is a lot of running and chasing around down there. I can't see them, but I can hear them. They're very close. I really don't want to get down, but there's so much running down there. I gotta go down there. I haven't seen anything come up on top here, so I'm gonna go down there, and I haven't heard them come through. It sounds like they worked themselves off, but they'll eventually make their way back. That's what they've been doing all morning. So I need to get eyes on this buck chasing this doe around. able to see through all this stuff and to be able to get a good shot. So I gotta make my way down and see if I can find an opening. Okay, I'm finally down at the bottom where they've been running. I may have spooked them off because as soon as I got down here towards the top, there was 2 shots that was fired. Maybe I pushed them off. I took a gamble and it is what it is. So I'm gonna sit tight. Let's just see if anything else comes through. I think I'm probably gonna call it. It's starting to rain. I'm getting kind of wet and I'm losing a lot of light really quick. So I gotta pack up and I'm gonna head back to the truck and I'm gonna call it a day. Definitely a lot of action. Just didn't get to see it. I'm back to the same spot that I was at last night. On the way in, I kicked up a bunch of deer out. I know one of them was a buck because he was running up and I can definitely hear him grunting. It's early, so I'm gonna do another all sit. I'm gonna gamble and come back out here and sit here and see if I can see anything come through here. So I just had 2 does come in like within 30 yards. Well, at least they're moving through here. They got spooked off and took off the other direction, but I need a big buck to do that. Waiting for the big boys. They're around here. I just had that little, like, 8-pointer come through. Yeah, I think if he comes back around, I might take him, but I let him walk. He came in, he was following the trail of those 2 does that came in, like, maybe 20 minutes ago. He was on their trail. But he looked back around and he went back up that way, so I hope I don't regret that one. I mean, he's not a giant, but my season's coming to an end, so I might not get that opportunity again, so let's sit tight. We got deers moving.
down right there. He's down right there. Yes. Thank you, Lord. I knew it. I knew this was going to be a good spot. That's a big deer. That's a big deer. I shot him right here. What a beautiful, beautiful buck. Nice 8-pointer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just inside the ears, a little slightly outside the ears. But man, big body buck. Last week I came back down here and I figured, you know what, I'm going to go on top of the ridge that I normally would sit and go set up there because I typically see a lot of action up there. And yesterday I got there, climbed all the way on top, and nothing was going. And this morning I got a little late start, but I got in here and I spooked what sounded like a ton of deer in here because they just took off running up over that hill. So I was a little bummed about that I spooked deer coming into my spot. But you know what? It was early in the morning, still had all day. I had 2 does come through. One of them caught wind of me or saw me as I was kind of messing around with my camera gear trying to get her in shot. And not long after that first 8-pointer came through on their trail, nose to the ground. But as soon as I let that 8 walked, I started to second guess myself because I knew today was probably going to be my last day. Right around 10 o'clock or so, this guy came through. He came down that same path. These 2 buck were probably on that doe scent coming in, but he was a little weary. The wind was in my favor, so his guard was definitely a little bit higher. He still walked through and gave me a quartering to probably 20-yard shot. Put it on him. Took off up here about 25 yards or so and dropped dead. But man, I am just so pumped, so happy that everything just kind of worked itself out. I'm so thankful. I don't know. I'm just at a loss of words right now because anytime you can harvest a beautiful animal like this, it's always such a blessing. But to be able to get a nice buck, a mature buck too, it's such a bonus. But anyways, this is probably going to do it in my 2025 Minnesota gun season. Tagged out a decent buck, not a giant, but definitely very proud to be able to harvest this guy.